Hello, yes. Okay. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamebo Avashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. All those that are invisible are filled with Brahman. All those that are visible are also filled by Brahman. The whole universe has come out of the whole Brahman. Brahman is still full, although the whole universe has come out of it. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto us all. So we are reading the Śvetāśvatara Upanishad. So very lastly, in the end of the first chapter, we learn that this truth, which is all-pervaded consciousness, is to be understood or experienced through dhyano nirmathanat, by practicing the churning in the form of meditation, through meditation. And how to find out? It is hidden. It is everywhere but hidden. And they have given the example, as in the sesame seed, there is oil. As there is a fire and a wood, there is a hidden fire. As in the springs, there is water. Similarly, the Atman, which is all pervaded everywhere, is hidden from the vision of our ignorant mind. Therefore, it is to be brought out by deep meditation. That was the last verse of the first chapter. And we read in the second chapter the other day. But it is not so easy to put the mind and churning and focusing into the inner truth to understand the reality. Therefore, you are to harnessing the mind and senses with a view of realizing the truth. And then having found out the light of the fire, the evolving soul brought itself out of the earth. That means it is to be first mind and intellect and the senses are to be connected together. Junjanam. It is to be connected together with a view to realize the truth. Our mind is distracted. Our intellect goes in one way, I think one way, my mind goes another way. So that was the idea given in the first verse, that we have to keep the mind together, not distracted mind. This preliminary process of attaining purity of the mind is a life of self-control in accordance to the rule of the righteousness. So mind always moves different direction. Unless we learn to concentrate that, then how to dive deep into the truth. Therefore, second verse we read, Yuktena manasa vayam, with our minds controlled, so as to manifest the self-luminous immanent soul. Our purpose is to find the light within. The immanent. Immanent means it is here, hidden. I don't see it. That immanent soul to control mind. Very difficult. We cannot see God because our mind does not allow us to God. Why? Why? Mind goes to its corresponding sense objects. And sense objects, when it goes, senses and the sense objects connect. And we are drawn into that, and we don't go further anywhere. But if that mind is concentrated and put into the focus, I'm trying to the truth behind, then that will bring the realization. Therefore, with our mind's control, so as to manifest this self-luminous immanent soul, what shall we do? We cannot think of Atman, Brahman, these are words only. It only big Satchidananda. I meditate on Satchidananda. So you have no concept what is that. Rather take a symbol. Symbol is the sun what you see. Sun is the eternal sun, but look at this material sun. At least that will help us to think of the absolute Satchidananda. We don't understand Satchidananda. But we know sun is so big, sun is so luminous, sun is full of heat, that we can banish. So there is existence, that is the sun I see, it's luminous, it is the consciousness, and it is the heat, that is the, you can feel it. That is closeness when you go Ananda. So Satchidananda. At least we can symbolically start from the sun. Therefore, in early days, the Upanishad suggests we shall vigorously endeavor for the attainment of the supreme bliss by putting my focus on the sun. Sun being a symbol. Controlling the heaven-aspiring senses with the help of the mind and the intellect, the immanent soul so regenerates that as they enable them to manifest the self-luminous infinite light. When the mind is controlled in this way, and the senses are also focused, and the intellect, understanding, moves in that direction, then what happens? The immanent soul, which is within, so regenerates them. This power of the mind brings out the truth within as to enable them to manifest this self-luminous infinite. So this mind, which is now a dull mind, which is impure mind, which is only roaming around in the mundane things of life, and it does not give any insight. We don't see God anywhere. But that mind, when is purified, purified means concentrated. When mind becomes purified, it becomes concentrated. But normal concentration may happen not with that much purity, but in subtle subjects like the Atman or Brahman, you need much purity, much concentration. So this Swamiji said that the world is ready to reveal its secrets only if you know how to tap it. And how to tap it? By concentrated mind only, focused mind. So, this suggestion having given his heaven-aspiring senses, that means these senses which are thinking to go to some higher place of pleasure, pleasure-seeking mind, controlling that mind and the intellect, if we can control, that here is some, we know little fun and joy of the earth. Heaven is only little extended joy, extended peace, extended momentary, but that will have an end. If we reject that also, and then that mind concentrate into focus and try to find that immanent first here, and then eyes will open there. Next verse says, the great is the glory of the immanent soul. That soul, immanent self, is not only here, it is all pervading, all knowing, infinite, and self-luminous. Only those rare few who know undergo the necessary discipline and spiritual practices. So who can practice this? Unless you know that is the truth. Rare few only who know. There's only hundreds and thousands of people will be practicing, but only rare few will know, undergo the necessary discipline, not only know. They undergo the discipline of practicing every day rigorously, and then spiritual practices. So, not knowing will do. I know that the truth is everywhere. It needs a concentrated, pure mind. Only this will not do. But you have to have some specific practices. That's like Raja Yogas will suggest you to do pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi, etc., etc. So the necessary discipline and spiritual practices that is needed. The wise do indeed control the activities of the intellect and practice meditation and concentration. So only those who are intellect is finally pure, they only focus their mind on this higher truth. The wise, those are wise people, those who are dhivan, those who is wise, they indeed control the activities of the intellect. Our intellect is functioning whole day, but it is spread into the mundane and material thing. But a wise person will concentrate that power of the mind and the intellect and then practice meditation and concentration. So it is leading us in the path of regular practice, not intellectual. This is the beauty of this text. It is not giving the theoretical knowledge only, but as guiding us to how to do, make it really a life's regular practice. Now, today we are reading the verse number 5. Verse number 5 says, Yuje bang brahma purvam namo vir bisloko etu patheva sure srinnantu vishye amritasya putra aje dhamani divyani tastu. Sure, the wise people, in the pati, according to the way, those who are following this path of realization, following only in the footsteps. What follow? What we have to follow? Follow the footsteps of the wise. Who are wise? Wise people are who have practiced this, concentrated their mind and advanced or experienced the truth. Following only in the footsteps of wise. I merge you both, the ancient Brahman, by continued meditation. I merge you both means the mind and intellect. My mind goes one direction, intellect cannot control that. Intellect and mind all be one focused. Buddhi, mano, buddhi. All should be one pointed. For that purpose, I unite them, and with that united power, in the ancient, I unite it into the focus, ancient Brahman. How? By continued meditation. May the glorious one, the effulgent, manifest himself. May the sons of immortal bliss hearken to me, even they who occupy celestial regions. As if I am meditating, and oh Lord, please come. O Aje Dhamani, Srinnantu Vishye. Listen, I am praying to you. Normally we know this verse has 2 lines. Here is only 1 line. Srinnantu, as we know, that verse says, Srinnantu Vishye Amritasya Putraha Aje Dhamani Divyani Tastu. Up to that part is here. Next line is Vedahametam Purushang Mahantam Aditya Varnang Tamasa Parastvat. That line is not here. Where it says, listen, O sons of immortal bliss, Amritasya Putra, you are children of immortal bliss who live Aye Dhamani, this earth or in heavenly abodes, wherever you are, listen. So here the meaning is different. Oh, gods and goddesses who live in different planes, listen to my prayer, help me. I am now trying to connect my mind and intellect together into the path of meditation of the self within to help me. So it is a help prayer. And that was a part of the chant we do where he says, you listen, I have realized the truth. That's a after experience he is saying. And here is the same verse, first line becoming common. First say, O Lord, O gods who live in high heavens, please help me. in my mission to realize the truth, where I am trying to unite my mind and intellect together. So, Jujeva Brahman Purveng, so it means following only in the footsteps of the wise. I merge you both. You both means, as I said, mind and intellect, whose limitations were hitherto acting as a screen hiding the vision of the ultimate truth. When they unite together, they open the screen and you can see the truth face to face. May the glorious one, that absolute G capital, one is O capital, that means Brahman, manifest himself. May the sons of immortal bliss hearken to me, even they who occupy celestial regions. Those who are living in high heaven, please listen to me, please help me, that I can quicken my spiritual blessing by your blessings only. That means here see, Kripa and it is two things, self-effort and Kripa. Kripa, the grace, and self-effort, they go side by side. If we say, oh, God is so kind, God will do everything for me. Yes, God will do everything for me, but I am to make an effort to go to God. I have no taste for food. You bring a beautiful dish before me. What will happen? It has no meaning unless I am hungry for it. So I should be hungry for that. And then God's grace can be understood. You know, when you are hungry, very hungry, if you have experienced any time, even ordinary rice and dal, you will feel that is like a heaven, heavenly food. My God, what wonderful. And when your tummy is full, the best ice cream, best good things, even, I will take this corner and that corner, like that. You find no interest in it. So, hunger is necessary, a spiritual hunger. So that is the idea is given. This mantra speaks of nirvikalpa samadhi, in which the spiritual aspirant gains complete absorption in Brahman. The rishi, who has realized that blessed state, is exhorting others to tread the path leading to it, even those occupying celestial regions whose bliss is insignificant compared with that this highest absorption. When the mind gets absorbed, buddhi gets absorbed, that means your ego gets absorbed, then you are merging where? You are no more there. You are that Brahman. Aham Brahma Asmi. I, that little I, which is a expression, I expresses as intellect, intellect as mind, and then further. But mind is concentrated and intellect is united together and I is also united. If that goes into the depth of experience, what remains? It is only Brahman. So that is the state of Nirvikalpa Samadhi. This Swami is talking. Those who are priding in their worldly prosperity are shown that there is something higher for them to gain, their birthright of immortal bliss. No? We can gain anything in the material world for something little more or less, but immortal bliss, that is our birthright, and we can get it by focusing only distracted mind. So this is one explanation. Let me read what Swami Lokeswarananda Maharaj has explained on this, maybe different slant. O my sense organs and other presiding deities, I salute you. I merge you all with the eternal Brahman through meditation. May this hymn of praise spread everywhere through the medium of the wise. May you all children of immortal bliss and all those living in the regions of illumination listen to me. This is the way this Swami has written. Another way of explanation is this: the Gyanis, whose mind and the senses are concentrated and has experienced the Brahman directly, or have understood the inner self, I am a student, let me also understand the same way as the wise people have done. This type of firm conviction, person says this individual soul and the Supreme Self, they can understand the union of them. Therefore praying, O my mind, O my intellect, O my senses, I am always trying from time immemorial to bring your consciousness and we are to unite together. Therefore, I am praying to the sun, as the sun's rays all come from the one sun, diversified rays. So my mind, distracted mind, let you go back to the source and feel that witness consciousness which is inside. So that is the way this another book has explained. Now, let us go further. It is a prayer. What we did, it is a prayer. Let my mind get identified with Brahman. How? By connecting the intellect and the distracted mind and the senses, all bringing focus like that. And then it goes back to its source and focus and point out here, and then you see it is here and it is everywhere. Now, 6th verse, 5th we read, 6th. Agni yatha abhimattate vayur yatra udhiruddhate somo yatra utirichyate tatra sanjayate manaha. Agni yatha, Agni means the fire, as it is churned out, meaning rubbing two pieces of wood. As where the fire is churned out, and Vayu Jatha Utiruddhate, as the Vayu, the air, is controlled, where Soma Jatra Utirichyate, where the Soma juice overflows, Tatra Sanjayate Mano, there the mind attains perfection. There the mind attains perfection. These are all, we have to understand what are the significance of these words. The mantra aims at a synthesis of Jnana Yoga, Raja Yoga and Karma Yoga and utilizes them all for the realization of the ultimate truth. What it is saying, where the fire is churned out. In Vedic time, fire in the Vedic symbology stands for the intellectual knowledge in the form of ideas. This knowledge is said to be churned out like fire from the fire sticks as a result of study and reflection of the philosophical inquiry under the guidance of a competent teacher. So, fire, how to burn out, bring out our fire, we have to go to a teacher and to study under him, intellectually understand what the significance of the scripture, what is the goal of life, how to reach that, all the doubts and confusions to clear out intellectually, going again and again and again, trying to understand its depth. So that is to be practiced, and that practice should be done under the guidance of a teacher. Of the two pieces of wood used for lighting fire for sacrificial purposes, the upper one stands for the teacher and the lower one the disciple. The other day we said, in another verse, upper side is the mantra, Om, and lower side is the mind. So you rub in both ways. In the mind you rub so that the fire, the consciousness, awareness of the consciousness will lit up. So here he says, of the two pieces of wood, here you imagine the lighting the fire of the sacrificial fire. Upper one stands for the teacher and the lower one in the disciple. And the process of study I have spoken is churning out. How? The teacher will teach, student will listen, and they will churn, means manana, reflect on that, and then deep contemplation on that. Sravana, manana, nididhyasana. So it should come from Guru, a teacher who is proficient in this subject. He will be giving the advice, and Sishya should come down, not overhead. Sishya and Guru, that is the relationship. When you pour water, you cannot keep the... How do you pour water? The jar which is full, it pours into the another jar. That jar should be a little lower, is it not? If you put the jar, you can do that siphon. That's a different process. But normal process is the student should be bowing down to learn. And what the teacher says, listen and contemplate. Oh, why I heard this word today? We are listening. Here is the Guru. This book is the Guru. It's telling us. So, just not listening only, but to hear why it is so. Why I am Atman, why the mind to be concentrated, why it should focus, identification of the intellect and mind is necessary. You have to understand, you have to queries, put question, understand this in depth. Not mere hearing will do, to practice. Manana means reflection. Whatever we are reading, if we go in silence and try to understand why it is so, and bring all the pros and cons of the discussion. And then dive deep, then the truth will reveal. So that is the indication here. Fire, of the two pieces wood used for lighting fire, the upper one stands for the teacher and is lower one for the disciple. And the process of study is spoken as churning out. The process of Sravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, that is the churning out. The whole line refers to Jnana Yoga in general. So where the fire is churned out, that is the one point, is Jnana Yoga. Where air is controlled, air means this is the air. Where air is controlled means when you practice pranayama, follow the path of Raja Yoga. The Jnana Yoga, there is not meditation. There is called reflection. You study and intellectually understand why it is so, why it is not. Why Brahman is real, why it is unreal. Why we call it is changeable, why is the unchangeable. So to reason out in deep and deeper level, that is to be practiced every time. That has been in the fire example, where fire is churned out, fire indicating inner significance is this. This is the Jnana Yoga path, follow the path. Where air is controlled, that means when you do the pranayama and breathing exercise and meditation, this represents pranayama or control of the vital functions, which is associated with the Raja Yoga. Hence this line refers to the practice of the yoga philosophy. And where soma juice overflows, meaning it is a ritual. Soma juice used in the Vedic sacrifice symbolizes the exhilaration arising out of the pursuit of worldly enjoyment and giving rise to the forgetfulness of one's higher nature and birthright of the eternal bliss. He is giving the example, soma juice. They used to drink soma juice in Vedic rituals. So say the soma juice used in the Vedic sacrifice, they symbolizes the exhilaration arising out of the pursuit of the worldly enjoyments and giving rise to the forgetfulness. So as people get engaged in the worldly pursuit and forget the goal of life, soma is said to overflow when the physical character of the Vedic sacrifices are transcended. He's saying that you are no more interested in soma juice to drink. Soma juice is like a wine type of thing. As in tantric practice, they take some little bit of wine and thing as a practice. So soma, in an ancient time, one type of soma as I had. It is available in some part of the world even now. Soma.
No, but that one is the alcohol, they put it in fire, they say he likes that because alcohol burns. So they use that
maybe also.
They say Agni's favorite drink is the Soma juicer, so you have to offer that. So then fire will continue.
Come out. Okay. The Soma is said to overflow when the physical character of the Vedic sacrifice is transcended. That means you don't get joy because all the Vedic rituals were done to have material prosperity, material enjoyment, going to heaven. These are the purpose of the yajnas. But one who has done with it, overflowing is done with this type of practice. That's why it says Vedic sacrifice is transcended and rituals give place to self-sacrifice. And understanding comes that it is the self-sacrifice, small self sacrifice, that is the purpose of this yajna. And when work becomes unattached, and any work in the sacrificial fire is done, they are done with the purpose of some enjoyment or some future happiness to achieve. But when you give up that idea, that means sakama karma becomes niskama karma. Then what happens? Elevated to the rank of worship and service to God in man. This line therefore stands for karma yoga, or the yoga of active self-sacrifice. So this Swami is bringing his beautiful idea that these three ideas are given.
They didn't talk about bhakti yoga.
No. Bhakti yoga is included because unless you love something, why will you do that? Anything you do. Niskama karma, why will you do? You have no love for reaching the goal. That's the underlying. That yes, but specifically they have not mentioned here of the Bhakti yoga. So Jnana yoga, Raja yoga and Karma yoga. It is the Swami, Tyagishananda Swami's explanation. He thought this way. Let me see what the other opinion. Where the fire is produced by rubbing the sticks, where there is no wind blowing and the pots are overflowing with soma drink, a person finds his mind wanting to engage in external activities rather than going inward to concentrate on the self. That means saying, where in such a situation that people are rubbing the sticks, where there is no wind blowing and the pots, all the pots are overflowing with the soma drink, a person finds his mind wanting to engage in external activities. When it is all ready, so you go engage into the outward activity, rather going inward to concentrate. And suppose you are doing a sacrifice and everything is favorable. The fire burns well, wind does not blow, and there is a plenty of soma. But you perform the ritual without any knowledge of their meaning and without any feeling of invoking the deity. You are attached to drinking soma, and your performance of the sacrifice is merely perfunctory. Thus, you are not able to please Savita, and your mind does not become purified. Rather, it becomes more and more outgoing, and the prospect of your attaining knowledge recedes further and further. So if people get engaged only doing this external activity, it does not lead them to inner journey. But they are doing same labor to gain some material prosperity. Shankara gives another interpretation of this verse. According to him, Agni, fire, refers to the Paramatman, the cosmic self, which is hidden within us because it burns. Burns what? Burns avidya. So Agni example, the fire example, Shankaracharya says that the Agni, fire, is the supreme self, Brahman, and the cosmic self, which is within us, hidden within us. Because, why? It burns. What it burns? It burns our ignorance, avidya. That is the ignorance and its consequences, which are birth and death. That's why you say, when one unites with the inner self, his birth and death He transcends birth and death. So this Shankara says this Agni signifies, the fire signifies the Paramatman. And that Paramatman is hidden in all of us. And his Paramatman has the power to destroy all our ignorance. And we can reach the absolute truth. Vayu, Shankaracharya says, Udhirudyate, means the wind does not blow, refers to pranayama, control of the breath. This implies also self-control, that is control of the mind and the senses. The mind then becomes purified, knowledge comes out, and you become filled with joy. You realize Brahman, the one without a second. According to Shankara, this verse sets forth the following step. First there is karma, performance of rituals to fulfill your desire. Then comes pranayama, control of the breath, control the mind and senses. Next is the samadhi, fixing the mind on God or Brahman. After that comes realization of the meaning of the Mahavakya, Tattvamasi, you are that. And finally, when the knowledge comes, you become full. Okay? That's a good idea. Meaning, this is a beautiful idea that Ramakrishna Vedanta philosophy says the four yogas are to be coupled together. But here actually he is mentioning the same. An old example, this is one of the oldest Upanishad. So when it is talking about the ancient time, so they are giving ancient examples. So the fire, as we read in the other book, Tyagishananda Swami's book, he is one of the great scholars of our Sangha. So when he says that the fire is indicating the Jnana Yoga, because it will destroy all ignorance. And fire comes out when you churn. So how to churn? You listen from the teacher, and that is the Sravana. Or in the scripture, we are listening from the scripture, it is Sravana. Now reflect on that. Is it so? Concentrate your mind on the thought, what we are reading now. Does it make sense? Where are the doubts? Clear those doubts and things. And then you samadhi, samadha, deeper contemplation, deeper reflection, then nididhyasana. So this is the fire. Here also Swamiji is saying there is fire and then air. Air means the pranayama, the breathing exercise you do following the Raja Yoga path, concentrate and meditate, how to easily concentrate the mind to the focus. 3 attempts should be taken. Jnana, Karma, Yoga, Bhakti. Swamiji said again and again and again. And Ramakrishna is the symbolizing impact of these 4 yogas. He stands for the unity of the 4 yogas. And our life also has become very meaningful if we can combine these 4 yogas. Otherwise our life becomes what? When I go to the shrine, that is my spiritual life. In the morning I went, and though we sleep or doze off, but I am in the spiritual life because I am in the shrine. Then come out, I am working, I am a worker. Where is God? So it is all, whole day is waste. I have to go to my office, I did this and I did that. So work, whole day gone. When suddenly, I have no time to think of God. That's a common complaint of all of us. So work, as if work cannot be made any meaning out of it. It is work is a distraction from God. But work is not distraction, it is a service to God. It is just purifying our mind, becoming selfless, karma, niskama karma. And meditation. So, discussing, sitting together and discussing, this is spiritual. But when you go out, it is non-spiritual. No, that is imperfect. That's why this Upanishad, Śvetāśvatara Upanishad, this verse number 6, it teaches us that you use Jnana Yoga when you have time, sit down and think, this world is what? how permanent, how impermanent, what is the truth, what is changeful, what is unchanging, what is absolute, who is the witness consciousness. Analyze your waking state, analyze your dream state, analyze your sleep state. Okay, when you have time and you like that, get a friend or to yourself. When you are meditating in the morning, okay, that is spiritual, Raja Yoga. When you are doing work, do it niskama karma. That is a yoga. And bhakti, of course, unless you have love for God, why will you do all these things? Why you will attend a class if it is no attraction for that? You cannot bring anyone into the class if he does not like it, no? That means liking means he loves it. Dislike, likes opposite is what? Dislike. I dislike means what? I don't love, I don't find any joy in that, so I dislike it. Why I dislike? Because I don't find joy in it. So that is a love is in the undercurrent, it is there. So that's why bhakti is also included there. But anyhow, the Swami Vivekananda most clearly expanded it in very clearly. I shall give you dry, hard reasons, softened in the sweetest syrup of love, made spicy with intense karma, and cooked in the kitchen of yoga, so that even a baby can easily digest it. That means 24 hours can be made spiritual. That's why you can make a good progress in every day. Only sitting in the temple or sitting in your meditation chamber, half an hour, 20 minutes in the morning and evening, no time, whole day is gone. Hari din to galo, sandhya holo, par karo amare. Oh Lord, the whole day is gone in vain. Now the end of the day has come. Please take me on the other shore. No, 24 hours is God. How can he do it? That is a quicker progress. In one lifetime, one can progress 10 lifetimes work, spiritual journey. That's why Vedanta Ramakrishna is so important and is culled from this ancient wisdom and also the experience of Ramakrishna himself to give this new message. Okay, now we have few minutes. 7th verse. Savitra prasavena jushet brahmapurnam yatra yoning krinavase nahite purtamakshitam. Attaining whom you destroy the source. Source means, here refers the mind, which gives rise to phenomenal world. Attaining whom? Attaining that reality, what happens? You destroy the source. Source means source of our life, source of our birth and death. What is the source of birth and death? Your mind. When mind is destroyed, you are free. Mind is mindless. Ramakrishna said, pure mind, pure buddhi, pure intellect, pure Atman is the same. That means when mind becomes purified, that means it is no mind. When it is called mind? Mind is mind so long it runs after the sense objects and gets caught into the trap of that. I like it, I have. So I like or dislike, I enjoy or not enjoy. These are the functionality of the mind. Then therefore here he refers the mind which gives rise to phenomenal world. This is finally destroyed. When? Only when the absolute Brahman is realized and the aspirant becomes one with it. When one feels there is the Atman, there is the self, and I am that. I am not the body, not the mind, not the intellect, not the ego. Mind is dead. Not the ego means ego is gone, mind is gone, and your buddhi is gone. Therefore, you become one. That means the source, mane, savitra prasavena jusate brahma purvam. As attaining whom you destroy the source and are no more troubled by the results of the past actions. I do not do any bad karma now, but I suffer. Why I suffer? Because I have bad karma. And bad karma, how much bad karma we do not know. Life after life, how much we did. It is all stored in my account, in your chip. A computer chip. You want to reject one computer and have another new computer, you data transfer. Or the data is transferred every lifetime, going on with my mind. That same mind, old mind, going here and there, carrying all the bundle of all good and bad all thoughts. So this finally mind, that mind will be destroyed only when the absolute Brahman is realized and the aspirant becomes one with it. So it says that attaining whom you destroy your source, that's mind, and are no more troubled by the results of the past action. Old action will not have any effect on you. To that ancient Brahman be you devoted, though the prime cause, the immanent self. The prime cause is, though prime cause is immanent self, but still you get the result. Result is what? Become one with it. Result of past actions. Putta means charitable acts and is generally used in conjunction with the word ishta, ishtaputta, which denotes ritualistic sacrifice. This stands for all meritorious actions leading to heaven. Here it is referred to the accumulated result of all past actions. These virtuous actions are specially referred to for showing that even that leads to rebirth and should be transcended before attaining final release from the cycle of births and deaths by becoming one with the Absolute. And last, through the prime cause, means the Absolute is beyond thought and speech and cannot be object of devotion. Devotion, moreover, requires the duality of Bhakta and Bhagavan. We have therefore to approach the unity of the Absolute through some perfect form conceived by the intellect. The best possible form of devotion is that towards the immanent soul conceived as the first cause whose presence is felt by all devotees in their hearts. Here first cause means God, right? Feeling the presence of that God who is in the heart of all. So it says then, attaining whom, all these practices you have talked about, attaining whom you destroy the source. What is the source? Your mind. And you are no more troubled by the results of the past action. It is called the past actions here, you can say prarabdha karma, or you can also mention sanchita karma, accumulated past. Or it can be meant prarabdha means which has started in this life, the momentum with which this life is going through. You cannot change it now because it is already determined. The trajectory is finalized. Therefore, but realizing that truth, you will not be troubled by that. That means when we realize the Atman, our real self, there is no action. There is no impact of our past actions upon us. There is no impact of our mind, which mind with its vagaries, running here and there and finding all the time restless and all the time distracted, all the time it is a helpless condition. It does not find joy, but it runs there again and again and again. So that the ancient Brahman, to that ancient Brahman be devoted through the prime cause, meaning God, the immanent in soul. That means you can do, attaining that truth, you destroy your mind, you destroy all the results of your past karma, effect of the past karma, and the division which is there, all are separate, you see the oneness, the same divine is residing in the heart of all. So these are the three effects will come. That is the verse number 7. Okay, I'll read out few minutes. Then this verse means a spiritual seeker should seek the grace of Suvita, the source of the whole world, and concentrate on meditating on the eternal Brahman. This will save him from being drawn into the public welfare activities and being shackled by this world. It is a very modern explanation. Swami Lokeshwarananda. We have to work with the blessings of Suvita. Suvita means the sun. Otherwise there is a risk that we will feel tempted to engage in work which at most can give only sense pleasure on earth or in heaven. This is why we praise the sun. Here is Prashavena means the source of creation. He is called the creator. Sun is the creator because it is by the power, his light, that everything lives and grows on this earth. We pray to him that we may not be tempted by anything short of that goal. By the grace of Suvita, we concentrate our minds on the worship of God or Brahman, who is the Purvam, eternal. There are various systems of Hindu thoughts, and they often quarrel with each other on details. But one thing they all agree on it, that the goal of life is moksha, nirvana, liberation, or cessation of all trouble. They give the example of the potter's wheel. The potter goes on turning his wheel as he works on his pot, but when he is finished, he lets the wheel go. For quite some time, the wheel goes on turning as a result of the force of potters had applied. Potters, have you seen any potter, how they create their pot, earthen pot? It is a wheel, and it turns it, and it rotates, and then with the rotation, they create that pot. But when he takes out the moment, it is a modern example is, you are going in 60 miles speed, and just take out no more gas pressure, but the car goes on with the past momentum. There's a momentum, that is the point. For quite some time the wheel goes on turning as a result of the force the potter has applied. Soon, however, the force is exhausted and the wheel comes to a stop. We are like that wheel, going round and round from one berth to another. We have pushed the wheel and it will continue to go round and round. If we don't push it again, the turning may stop in a day or a week or maybe longer, but it will stop. This round of birth and death has to be stopped. Does this mean that we do nothing? No, it means that we do not add to our karma. How? By not working with desire. We work as slaves to our desire, and for this reason we accumulate karma. For instance, many people engage in social welfare activities with a view to acquiring name and fame, or from some future reward in heaven. A free soul, a liberated person, will do work, but he will not accumulate karma because he has no desire. His only motive for working is to help others, loko sangraha. Even with this, Sri Ramakrishna was dying from throat cancer, and the doctors forbade him to speak. He will still keep talking to people about God, teaching them and inspiring them. If you know who you are, that you are Brahman, you are self-fulfilled, you have no more desires. Okay? So do your work without desire. That is the meaning of this. So, we end here in verse number 7. 8 we'll read next day. Any question, anything? Then it is good. We can. You have anything here? Huh? Tomorrow gospel class? Yes, by Medhananda Swami. Tomorrow will be gospel by Medhananda Swami. Who can join, please join. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.